Hello there, and welcome to Northwestern Ontario Voices Dryden. I'm Jack Dawson. I'm happy to bring you the final episode of our Mayor series from across Northwestern Ontario. Dryden's Mayor Jack Harrison had a moment to share a bit of his personal history with me, along with his thoughts on the challenges and opportunities for Dryden. I want to also just add that this interview has some audio issues and that we're in the process of reshooting this conversation so we can provide you a better sound quality. Thanks for watching Northwestern Ontario Voices, and if you have a news topic or information that you would like us to explore, please email us at info@northwesternontariovoices.ca. Enjoy the interview.
Oh, well, I was born and raised in Dryden here back in 1961. Lived here almost all my life. I did go to school in Lakehead University, get my Bachelor of Science in Forestry. Ended up working for 10 years, first in my career in Kenora. And then I've been back in Dryden here now for 25 years. I worked in the forest industry all my career. Coming back to Dryden, I was involved in the startup of the Dryden Forest Management Company. 1998, worked there 16 years. Really enjoyed working with small, medium-sized logging companies. Took over the management of the Dryden Forest and Sustainable Forest License. Really good group of companies to work for. And then my last part of my career was Forest Lands Manager for Domtar. Really enjoyed that as well. We're working at a higher level, building a strong team to supply the mill with fiber, as well as to manage two large forests, the trout and the wabagoon. Really enjoyed building a relationship with the provincial government and local First Nations and working to manage the forest in a very sustainable way. I married my lovely wife Shannon for 38 years. I have 3 daughters. They're all married. I've got 6 grandkids, 4 of them living in Dryden here, so they've been a big part of our lives. And yeah, I decided to run for politics after I retired for about a year, and decided this is a wonderful community, and I thought using my skills I developed in the forest industry, working with public lands, provincial governments, I thought there was a lot of synergies there, and really wanted to see our community grow and prosper. So that's why I decided to run, give back to my community that's been so good to me for so many years. Well, some of the challenge I think, which is common with many municipalities, is the financial sustainability of our communities. We have taken on a lot more responsibility over the years, and I think in some of the good times we built a lot of infrastructure, and now we need to maintain that and expand it. So we're looking at the tax base and we do it sustainably. I think that's the biggest challenge. We've got most of the important ones are basic needs of sewer and water. We've got old infrastructure. We don't have quite the financing to maintain that and improve it. So I mean, that's one of our challenges, is just the financial sustainability of it. The second one is probably the social issues we're starting to see develop in Dryden. Dryden is a bit behind some of the other communities that we see. And but we have some time to think about as council in our community. We do see folks that are have issues with mental health, addiction, and housing. So I think there's an opportunity within our community to see how we can help these people to move forward in their lives so they can start taking more personal responsibility and looking after themselves and even giving back to our community in positive ways. So I think there's challenges there that we need to address. Well, we've just gone through a bit of a transition, amalgamation of our Dryden Police Services with the OPP. That was in February of 2022, so it's been over a year now since the OPP really taken charge of the city. Yeah, they're doing a great job. We appreciate their leadership there. They're really involved in our community. I mean, it's seeing them doing foot patrols every day has really helped assure our businesses and our citizens that they're watching out for them. The police presence in the community is quite substantial. You see, they're driving around, you'll see police cars quite often, 2 or 3 of them. So the police presence is good. They're really trying to tackle the drug problem that we have in our city, much like every community. And I think with the expertise they brought in, they're making a difference. Costs are still a concern when we were with EPS. The costs were high, and they're still continue to be high with OPP. That does affect our financial sustainability. So we're going to try to work to see how we can reduce those costs over time. We're in a transition funding model right now, and we'll go into more of a billing model in the future. So we have an opportunity to try to work with the OPP and bring those costs down, because really, for our city to be financially stable, we really have to get those costs closer to what the Ontario average is, or at least what our surrounding communities are. So we're looking forward to working with OPP on that. So also our fire department has transitioned a few years back. We now have 5 full-time firefighters on staff, and I think it's really improved our fire service in aspects of training and education of our public. Firefighting is getting a lot more complicated these days, much more specialty service, and so we're excited that this group is there full time. Also, we just had a new intake of volunteers, I think at least 10 in the last go around, so we got a full complement. We do have 2 fire halls, our main one right in the city and one out in the Barclay area, so we got 2 fire halls to service really our central area and most of our residents out to the east. So I think they have a really good record of a quick response, very effective. So yeah, we're happy to have a very, very efficient fire service here in Dryden. Yeah, that's kind of a looming thing that's happening. We didn't put our hand up to be the host of Ignace and Wobbling Lake First Nation, so they're the primary host in dealing with NWO, but we've been classified as a significant community, and I would say that's really correct, because I think a lot of the folks who, if it does go ahead, would be moving to our community. So I mean, we're looking at and trying to understand really the impacts of that. I mean, our ultimate concern would be our water quality, because we draw our water source from the Wabigoon, and that repository is going to be upstream, right in really the headwaters of our water source. So we need to understand that this has to be completely safe forever, not just for a short period of time. It's got to be safe forever. So we're looking for NWO to show that to us. And I think even from there could be benefits to increase our community, but there's a lot of cost to our city in developing new areas for subdivisions, say. So I mean, we can't afford that ourselves, so we'd be looking to understand, well, how are we going to develop areas? How do we service new residents that would come in? So there's a lot to learn, a lot to understand about the potential of this. We still have some time before we're trying to make a decision on which site, South Bruce, by the end of next year. So we're still engaged with NWMO, trying to understand more about this project. Well, it's a wonderfully compact community. So I've had people who move from the city and talk about their 30, 40 minute commutes in here. You can pretty well walk anywhere in town, which is great. We've got a very, very good community. We've got a lot of the things that we have in the city that people can enjoy. I think I noticed that the town's very friendly. It's easy to build relationships and get new friends. Lots of young people have moved in our city, even if the local Dryden pulp mill has had quite a changeover. Lots of 20 and 30-year-olds moving into our city. A lot of them I've talked to have found good friendships here. As well, if you really like the outdoors, this is a perfect environment. We're surrounded by wilderness, and so there's lots of opportunities just off their doorstep, really, with our lake here and our forest access roads. I mean, people marvel at how accessible the public land is here and how beautiful it is. So I think there's a lot going on for Dryden that would be very attractive. Just coming in as the mayor, working with the council, it's got me an opportunity to learn more about the city. I'm really impressed with the staff here and the good care they've taken of our assets. Look at our hockey arena over the last number of years. There's really been a lot of focus on that recreational facility, bringing it up to to a higher standard. And so I think we see a lot of that care within our city, and we want to continue on that and also build upon that. And hopefully we can have other facilities or these opportunities for our public for recreational purposes as we seek funding and also look at development. So yeah, I'm excited about the future, and hopefully we can continue to maintain and then improve what we have and continue to make Dryden even a better place.